Yes, I'm David of Steel Pulse, and I don't camouflage. Camouflage! I don't camouflage. Growing up in Birmingham was a tall order. We are recognized as the first generations of blacks born in the United Kingdom. Our parents were colonized from the British Caribbean, places like Jamaica, Trinidad, Barbados, St. Vincent, Grenada, all those kind of places. And so my parents came over in the 50s, and they came over with a very, almost like with a walking on eggshell attitude because of the racism they were facing, and also being on foreign turf, not being familiar with the whole scene of things. So everybody sort of was like put in different regions, so to speak, but we had our own community. Certain Caribbean islands were dispatched to certain parts of Britain, but most of the Jamaicans were dispatched to places like Birmingham, where I grew up in, and also London, so to speak. So we formed our own communities, had our own language, had our own, the earliest forms of social media as far as newspapers and things that was about things happening in Jamaica. And, obviously the food, the language, the culture. So it kept me very much isolated for quite a long time. My mom always thought I was like crazy or, above the norm, so to speak, compared to, my siblings. But I think my parents always thought there was something special about me as far as being different from the others, where I was isolated by them also when it came to my education. They saw a certain potential in me, the way I sort of perceived things, that they oftentimes had me stay in and do homework longer than the others, and schoolwork longer than the others. My first guitar, she promised me if I did exceptionally well, she would get me one, and she did. Same with my bike. If I did well in school, I get a bike, and that's how we were raised, basically. I've been quite a few places. I've spent, as far as living, I'm currently knocking around in the French Caribbean. But I've spent time where I've spent several months in, say, Jamaica, although I wasn't born there. And I'm often in the United States. So when it comes to really sticking around in a particular country for a substantial amount of time to absorb the culture and the political strappings of the country, those are the three main countries where I've really sat down and said, so that's what you're about, kind of thing. I love symmetrical type patterns. Arrows mean a lot to me when I see them in patterns. It shows direction, obviously, power, symmetry, order, projection. All these things is significant for me when it comes to my life. I had a prison uniform, beige coloured, with red arrows, ball and chain, the whole thing. It was like a very strength rewarding presentation for me. Arrows are significant in my life, have been significant in my life.